Hello, and thank you for joining our annual Listening and Learning presentation for the 24-25 school year. Our first slide we have today is just to make sure our community realizes that this is our 75th year anniversary of our school district, and this year we're going to be doing lots of different celebrations during the month of October, which is now. They're starting early October and we'll go through the end of October, and we've asked each school community to invite our entire community into their schools and to celebrate the great things that are going on with their students in the classroom and then just in the community as a whole. In addition, we're going to be having a 75th gala in April of this year, and more information will come out later on in the year as we get closer to that date. So again, just wonderful, celebrating 75 years of doing amazing things for students. This next slide just kind of gives us an update. This past year we went through our strategic planning process. It was bringing the end to our first 5-year strategic plan, and so we worked with a consulting firm that came in and did community forums. They did some online surveys. They went to all the school sites and interviewed and had times with teachers and all employees in those buildings and really gathered a bunch of information about what direction the district needs to moving forward over these next 5 years. And what we got back from the feedback was that people were really happy with the direction of the district the last 5 years and the experiences that we were designing for our students and how we were working with our community. And so what you're going to see in this next 5-year strategic plan, basically the messaging was build upon what you've already laid a foundation for and continue to move in that direction. And so that's kind of what you'll see in this next 5-year strategic plan. Part of that strategic planning process, what you see on your screen now, are the success measures. This really guides our work to make sure that we stay laser focused on what it is our community has told us that we need to be focusing our work on over the next 5 years. And what you have on your screen is these were the success measures in 2018 that we asked our community to rank to help guide our work. And then this is the list in 2024. Some of them are very similar. Some of them we changed a little bit as a result of our board advisory working committees that we have, like our Lindbergh Life Success Skills. We kind of morphed the 4 C's into that. And just so you know, a lot of districts call those Lindbergh Life Success Skills a portrait of a graduate. What are those things besides having the basic, making sure that kids have the foundational skills in reading and writing and math? You know, what are those other skills like communication, creativity, those types of skills, work ethic, things that we all know are important to be successful in life? That work kind of came out of that, so we kind of morphed that. And then the highlighted ones we've kind of did a little bit different, like our Diploma Plus program, which is our kids are graduating with a high school diploma plus something else, whether that's college credit hours or an industry recognized certification. So you can kind of see that list. And just to remind everybody of that activity, you had to rank these 1 to 13 or 1 to 12 in 2018, and you had to say what was the most important all the way to the least important. And so as a result of that feedback we got from our community, this will be our success measures in 2018-19 school year. When we asked the community to do this, we ended up with 5 success measures. This time we have 6, and you can kind of see those, and they are in the order at which they receive the most importance. So student achievement around growth, you know, we are a school district. That should be our number one priority is student achievement, and really in this model of growth, not a stagnant student achievement where we just take a test one time a year and then that's it. It's a growth of where does my student or where does my child start at the beginning of the school year, and did the school district help them grow, whether they're a high performing student, a middle performing student, or a low performing student. And we have built an assessment platform that really helps us and our teachers and our parents visualize and have feedback on that growth from the start of school in August all the way to May. And so the community has really bought into that, and they're like, stay focused on that, really helping my student grow from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. And then Lindbergh Life Success Skills was the second and high quality teachers were third. And to be honest with you, statistically, they were exactly the same. We put the Lindbergh Life Success Skills second just because this was the number one thing our students told us to help them work on and to develop. I think they have an understanding that they're going to be able to have those foundational skills in math, in reading, and writing. They really want to make sure that while they're here, we're helping them develop work ethic and communication and collaboration and improve their critical thinking and their creativity and understanding who I am and what are my strengths and how can I use those strengths to be successful. And then student satisfaction, are our kids happy? Do they want to come to school every day? Personalized learning, get in and out of the one-size-fits-all approach to teaching and learning, like many of you listening to this presentation, many of you got, where we all had to do it exactly the same way, in the same class, in these four walls, and sitting in rows and chairs. And so just really getting out of that approach, and then making sure that we take care of our employees, because if we don't take care of them, then they're not going to take care of the most important thing walking through our doors every day, and that's our students. And so really having a culture within our organization that supports the well-being and satisfaction of our employees. So those will be our success measures, and we have these to really keep us laser focused on the work. And if we start to go down a path of looking at doing something, and if we can't align it and say which success measure does this fit under, then we don't need to be doing that work. And so it really helps us have a focus and a compass to be able to do our work. And then this kind of on this screen kind of shows you the similarities between the 2018 success measures and the 2024's success measures. And then also, I think it's really important, we as an organization, that every 5 years that we do a deep dive in our communication audit of how we're communicating with all stakeholders. So we're in the process of doing that right now. And so you can kind of see on this slide, it kind of lays out the timeline of that. We've partnered with a company called the Donovan Group to help us lead that. And you know, if you're familiar with my presentations and my listening and learning, every year I ask 3 questions. What do we do well in Lindbergh that we need to keep doing? What can we get better at that we need to keep doing? And then what are things that we need to stop doing? And it seems like every year, the number one thing that our community says we do a really good job at is communication. And then the second question, what can we get better at? The number one thing in that area typically is communication. So it's just really important for us to really dive deep and make sure that we are not missing opportunities to tell our story, and to make sure we keep everyone informed on the work that we're doing with our students in our schools each and every day. And then this is just an exciting slide for us. This is a reflection of our elementary, middle, and high school teachers on a very rigorous academic measure for us, which is our AP exams. And just real quickly, if you're not familiar with AP, it's a class where, for instance, we have AP U.S. History. Students can take a test at the end of the AP U.S. History course and earn college credit. It's on a scale of 5. Typically, a score of 3 will get you 3 hours of college credit in whatever that course is. And you can see, you know, Missouri's passage rate, or kids scoring 3 or higher, is 70, where our overall percentage is 86%. And what was really exciting also is that we had 90% passage rate on 17 of the 31 AP courses that we offer at our high school, which is really exciting. And there was a handful of courses that we had this year, and one of them was the first year we had offered AP pre-calculus, and 100% of our kids had a passage rate. So we were really excited about the hard work of our teachers and our students, and we just think this is a great reflection of our entire district, our elementary, middle, and our high school teachers. And then this slide is exciting also because the 524 kids took exams, and we gave about a little over 1,100 AP exams. Well, that number is about 100 more exams given than the previous year, and the passage rate of the previous year was 80%, where you look at this, it's actually 86%. So not only did we give more exams, but our passage rate went up. So just really excited about this way. And this is one way that our students can get college credit in our high school. This next slide is another way that our students are earning college credit in our schools. And this is our dual enrollment and dual credit program that we have with St. Louis Community College. And so when you look at this, we've really grown this program over the last 7 years from really non-existent into the best dual credit, dual enrollment program in the St. Louis Metro. To put that in context, that $1.9 million of tuition savings, the next closest district to us is a multiple high school district, and they had around $1 million. So our students are really taking advantage of this. We have lots of students walking out of our high school with at least 30 hours plus of college credit, some all the way up to 40 hours. 45 hours of college credit. So it's just, what it's also doing is it's allowing our students to open doors where they may not have been able to afford 4 years of out-of-state tuition to go somewhere, but now they can whittle it down to maybe 3 or even 2 years of out-of-state tuition. And what's so exciting is St. Louis Community College, their credit is recognized by every majority of institutions across this country because of their accreditation system that St. Louis Community College is a part of. So just really excited about that. And just to explain the difference, dual credit is a student at Lindbergh High School being taught by a Lindbergh High School teacher during the day, where they're receiving college credit in that class at the high school. Dual enrollment means that part of their day is done out at the community college and part of their day is done at Lindbergh High School. And then we have another program that I don't have a slide for that's called Early to College, and that's students starting their junior year. They go full time to St. Louis Community College, and they earn either 60 hours of college credit, or they have the opportunity to earn an associate's degree as well. And we have about 50 students every year take advantage of that program. So just lots of ways for our students to earn college credit on in our high school. And then everybody's always curious about our enrollment. And so just a quick update on that. You can look down there. Our official enrollment on count day, which was the last Wednesday of September, was 7,290, which, is a little over 100 plus kids, about 125 kids, 26 kids from the previous year's count date. And so just to kind of give some context around that, it's about 130-ish kids, 25 kids that were net positive, but we're actually closer to about 180 of new students because we graduated last spring 550 kids, 55 kids I think, around that number, and then we had 500 new kindergartners, roughly 500. So we're already in a 50 kid deficit, but we still grew close to 100. So it's about 175, 180 new kids in our school district. And what happens is 500 kindergartners is a big class. Typically they're between 475 and 500. And what we have studied over the last 20 some years, that our classes grow anywhere from 8 to 10 kids a year as they matriculate through the system. So projecting this out, our kindergarten class is going to be around 600 or a little over 600 when they grow. We're definitely turning into a community more of a second home community. Yes, we still have starter homes, and we will always have starter homes in our community, but we're really turning into a second home where a family may have a young elementary kid and maybe a kid approaching middle school or late elementary, and they're moving into our school district. And like I said, historically, 8 to 10 kids a year, our classes grow, and by the time they matriculate out over 12, 13 years, it's about another 100 to 125 kids growth over that time. And to support that we're becoming more of that second home community, you can look at our free and reduced lunch population. From 2016 to today, it's gone down 4%. And historically, communities will either kind of stay the same or they will go up. And so, there's neighboring districts that when, 7 years ago, when I started here, were similar in our demographics, free and reduced lunch, that now they have gone into the 20s percent free and reduced lunch, where we have gone almost down, we're right around 12%. So we're just kind of going the opposite direction, which indicates that, our community is, supporting that idea that our property values are going up and they're more of a kind of a second home purchased community. And then lots of updates on Prop R, lots of construction going on over the next 3 to 4 years. And so the Farmers Club, I want to give you all just a quick update on that. If you haven't seen that, that's kind of the renderings of what the new building at the Farmers Club would look like there on Concord School Road next to Sappington Middle School. These are, if you saw a prop presentation, you saw the original mission, and that started back in 1883. That will continue to be the mission of this program. And then our design and our programming team came up with the vision statement last April on what we want to make sure we're doing with our students on this property during this educational time they will have there. And then here's kind of an aerial view of what the site might look like. We have recently closed on the property directly west of the Farmers Club. There's 2 acres. There's a little house that sits there. We have purchased that as well, so that will become part of the farm. But you can kind of see how it's kind of laying out as we begin to continue to develop this program. And then here's kind of the timeline for this. We're hoping to have the building hopefully late December of 26, with students doing a soft opening in January of 27. And kind of the programming of this building, kind of what it's going to be is going to be like a morning session and an afternoon session. So there'll be kids that will spend, anywhere between 100 and 150 students in the morning, and then another 100 to 150 students or so in the afternoon, from different schools, different grade levels. But there'll be kids, around 250 to 300 kids on the campus every single day, tying their learning from their schools, to the farm, and just really getting that real world hands-on learning experiences ranging from, the science to the humanities, to technology, to the sustainability piece. So we're really excited about how this is really going to bring a lot of aspects into our students' learning, and this real world learning opportunity starting all the way down in kindergarten. This will be for kindergartners, preschool age kids, even up to 12th graders in high school. And so we envision there being a store in this building where we're selling things that have been grown on the farm and different things that are made. We're going to potentially have a culinary kitchen where our students will actually develop a culinary program where our students will host evening dinners for our community to come into the space and begin to do those things. We are looking at partnering with St. Louis Community College on some type of associates, or working towards a plant science degree where we would have 25 high schoolers in the morning working on the farm and running the farm with the adults that we hire to run the farm, and then have another 25 kids in the afternoon, high school age kids, working and running the farm. Having things like a farmer's market on Saturdays for our community to come and be a part of, where you could have kindergartners actually working with a senior in high school, working the farmer's market on Saturdays. So just amazing opportunities for our students, and we're really excited. The interest from business partners is really exciting. We have some really exciting meetings scheduled with some prominent families in the St. Louis metro area to partner with us in this an amazing educational opportunity for our students. And then Crestwood Elementary, they're just a quick reminder, their front of their building, the original part of the building, hasn't really been touched since it's been built, and so we're going to remodel the front of the building. And then we are, in all of our elementary schools, what we call 9 right-sized classrooms. So if you're familiar with situations in our buildings, you could have a reading specialist or 2 or 3 reading specialists in one room working with students. So these 9 right-sized classrooms will be designed for our educators to work with 8 to 10 kids at a time. That could be also kids with IEP, special needs students as well. So part of that is in the remodel, we're doing that in all of our elementaries as well. But then 3 of our buildings are getting a new gymnasium because they don't have a separate cafeteria and gymnasium. And they're, Crestwood, Long, and Kennerly are the ones getting those. And their remodel's a little bit different, but pretty much the same. And again, we want all of our kids to have the same kind of educational opportunities. We don't want the building to limit those kinds of educational opportunities for any of our students. If you attend Crestwood, you should get the same learning opportunities as you would if you were at Dressel. So Crestwood, This is the new site plan. The goal here is to separate bus and parent traffic and get all parent traffic off of Sappington Road. And you can see the new bus loop, my arrow right here. This is bringing the traffic all the way to the back of that property. And then this is the new gymnasium right here. And then the bus loop will be right here in the front. We've moved the kindergarten playground from the front to the back for a safety, getting them off of, right next to Sappington Road, which, we feel is a definite safety situation. And then this is kind of details what's going to happen in the buildings. And you can see these where my arrow is, my cursor is. These are some of these 9 right-sized classrooms that I've been talking about. So what we did is we took half of the caffeinasium, which served as a gym and a cafeteria, and reworked some of those spaces to do that. We put a 4th kindergarten classroom up here, the right-sized kindergarten classroom, because pretty much all of our grade levels across all of our buildings are at least 4 sections now. So we need 4 right-sized kindergarten classrooms in some of our schools. And then you can see the new gymnasium over here. And then this is some renderings of that is the new gymnasium right there and what it will kind of look like. Here is actual construction going on. It's actually a little bit farther along. All the walls are up. They actually have brick going on. The outside of the cinder blocks, they're setting steel this week as we speak. And this is the first week of October. They're in there setting steel. So it's moving along nicely. There you can kind of see that picture has it enclosed. And they're actually pouring the gymnasium floor in this picture. And then part of the project is a lot of these old buildings have asbestos, so we have to abate it. And so what we did this summer is we went in and did a lot of abating because we have a lot of remodel. We got a short window of time next summer to remodel the front of this building. So they are walking on not the prettiest floors this year, but they are serviceable. They are concrete floors. And it's kind of interesting to watch as there's more traffic on them. They become more shiny. They're kind of polishing themselves. And so school's actually trying to have some fun with it. They're allowing kids to sign the floor if they do something good. And so they're just, trying to make the most of the situation. But we did have to go in and do a lot of abating this past summer. And then here is timeline for Crestwood. Everything will be done next August of 25. So we're excited about that. We're hoping to be in the gymnasium late this school year. Hopefully around start of 4th quarter would be the earliest, but we're hoping for that. And then Long Elementary. This is the rendering of their new gymnasium. This is the new gymnasium. To give you some context, here's the front main entrance right now. So this is to the north of the existing building right now. Here's kind of another picture of what it will look like. And then here's their site plan. We actually purchased this property and this property over the last 7 years. This doesn't reflect it, but we've made a recent decision to align. There's a neighborhood exit right here. The light sits right here. We're going to do a traffic study, and we're going to align this going in and out of this neighborhood with our new entrance. We're actually going to put our new entrance in here. And then this is parent pickup, double lane right here. They come back out, and they'll actually come back out. Shows them come back out right now where the light is, but they'll actually swing back this way and come out here where my cursor is, and then the bus is over here. We'll have a diagonal. We'll have a crosswalk right here, and then we'll have a sidewalk right here that will keep the kids away from the traffic leading into the building. So that's kind of their site plan, and then you can kind of see inside. We're actually, we talked about at Crestwood using half of the caffeinasium for those right-sized classrooms. Well, we're actually going to move the library because it made sense to put the 4th kindergarten classroom as part of where the existing library, taking part of that library and making it a 4th kindergarten classroom and putting all 4 here, and then right-sizing some different classrooms. This is all new construction addition right here. You can see that, and so you can kind of see the highlighted different right-sized classrooms here. And then Kennerly, this is a picture. This is the new addition. Sappington Road is over here to give you some context. We're going to build the new gymnasium behind the new addition right here. So you can see that. This is what it'll look like in the back. And then this is their site plan. We're actually going to go into the hill right here. There's a kind of a hill right now. They have, this is probably asphalt about where my cursor is right now. We're going to come into this hill, build a retaining wall, and we're actually going to queue these in four line queue. Pinch it down to 3 to 2, and then pinch it back to 1, and then they'll drop off here. This should get all traffic off of Sappington Road as well, and then the bus loop will be up front here. We'll kind of cut through where the flagpole and the plaza is right here, and then loop them back around, and then you can see where the gym is. And then we're doing a 4th kindergarten classroom as part of the Caffeinasium, because these are the 3 kindergarten classrooms right now, so they're all 4 right here. And then some smaller group spaces. You can see those 9 right-sized classrooms. And then this is some more detail behind that, what's going on inside of Kennerly. And then this is Long and Kennerly. They're basically on the same timeline, same architect, same contractor. So you can see the goal is to have all of the work done by August of 26. So about, 20 months or so from now, we should be done with, 22 months or so, we should be done with everything at Long and Kennerly. And then Truman, if you look at that, it's very exciting not to see window units, but that's the way the front of the building will look. Truman, this is kind of the inside of Truman, some highlights here. We're filling in the swimming pool and making it a multi-purpose room with operable seating, not bleachers. It's actual seating. The seating will have arms and backs to them, and will go back against the wall to make a multi-purpose room, and then they can be pulled out to do concerts and class meetings and different things like that. So this kind of is some detail to the first floor of Truman. Well, I have this slide up. I'm going to go ahead and talk about the timeline a little bit. So this January, we're actually just finishing up the plans. They got what we call bid package 1 for Truman done, and it's getting ready to go out for bid. And what that bid package is really to build temporary classrooms right here in the tile gym, go ahead and fill in the swimming pool, and build temporary classrooms in here in the pool area. And then the phase 1, which will start this summer, they'll get these built out, and we'll move people out of this side of the building, the west side of the building, into these temporary classrooms. And all of next year, they will remodel the west side of the building. Then at the end of the next year, we will move these folks out into their new remodeled space. The people on the east side will move into the temporary while we remodel the east side. At the end of that year, we'll move them out. And then in the upcoming school year, for the first semester, they'll go in and redo the tile gym and redo this area right here and put it into its final design, which would be the multi-purpose room. So should be done. I have a timeline I'll show you here in a second. But these are some more renderings. To get central air in the main academic building, these are air duct shafts that we had to put in the hallways, but instead of just having these square things, we decided to build some benches along the side of these as well. So you can see that. And then this is a collaboration space with small breakout rooms. And then this is what some of the classrooms would look like. This building has a beautiful, what they call waffle ceiling, and we're going to expose that right now. You can't see it because it has ceiling tile in front of it, but we're going to open up the high ceilings and really paint it and expose it, and we're really excited about the feel that's going to bring back to the building. And then this is a rendering of what the multi-purpose room or the swimming pool after it's filled in will kind of look like. Here's another picture of it as well. If you notice, these are bleachers. That's not the seating that will be in there, but for purposes, you'll see that it's operable and can pull out. And then here's the timeline. Should be done January of 27. About the same time we're finishing up the Farmers Club as well. So our hope is to have all of our projects done by the beginning of the 27-28 school year. Sparing. Basically, this year we are doing a lot of programming and planning of what we're going to do in that building. Similar things that we do at Truman and spaces we are adding at Truman, we're going to add at Sparing as well. But Sparing obviously is in much better shape than Truman Middle School, and so it's not getting as an extensive facelift, but it is getting some done. But what is happening in all of these buildings, and this stuff will begin to start this year in all of our buildings, is the safety features that we had at our high school, where we have the security glass on points of entry. We have security, we have the doors that will be alarmed that you can't prop doors open anymore. You can't go out any door except for the main entrance door during school hours. Now, at arrival and dismissal, those alarms are shut off and kids can come and go out of different doors that they need to. But during school operation hours, there's one way in, one way out during that time. And just adding some cameras and different things in appropriate places where we need fencing, we're going to put that in, all new life safety. So that's going to happen in all of our buildings over the next school year plus. And then here's kind of Sparing's timeline, hopefully August of 26. Sappington, same similar thing, doing some things. We are going to do the new gym floor. We want to get rid of all the tile gyms in our district. So just making sure we have the 9 right-sized classrooms that I've mentioned in our other elementaries in this building as well. So just doing an audit, and we're in the process of doing that during this school year. And then hopefully August of 26, they will have their construction done. And then Concord, same thing, making sure they have the right 9 right-size classrooms, same safety upgrades. One thing that we have, this is an example of us starting that work of 9 right-size classrooms at Concord. So we divided out some spaces to make them, more usable for 8 to 10 kids in your own space instead of having dividers in a large classroom. So we started that work there this summer. And then this is new. We actually closed about 2 weeks ago now on the property directly north of the school on Twilight. And so our plans here are to make this additional parking for events and different evening kinds of things that we have, and then use it as queuing for arrival and dismissal time. So, early on this, we haven't really turned this over to an architect yet, but once they get finished up with their plans at Kennerly and Long, we're going to turn this over to them to get to work on it. But what we're envisioning is at least a double, maybe a triple car stacking right here that would kind of swing around and then tie back into the loop right here. We think by doing that, we're for sure going to get we'll get all the traffic off of Concord School Road, and most, if not all of it, off of Twilight as well. So we're really excited about this. In this parking lot, there won't be cars in it during the day. So for arrival and dismissal, we'll actually be able to use this whole thing to queue people and then bring them back in here like this. This parking lot would only be used for after-school kinds of events, but during the day, employees won't be parking over here. They'll continue to park where they park now. That's the plan right now. Everything's subject to change, but that kind of gives you an idea of how we're going to improve site circulation at Concord Elementary. And then safety upgrades at Dressel. Dressel's in great shape. It's still building's 6 years old. I think it's its 7th year since it's been open, so still in really good shape there. But a lot of same safety upgrades. We're going to do the 9 classroom audit here as well, and you can see we've already started that. We did some work this summer to create some privacy for our physical therapy room at Dressel. And then ECE has some foundation work that we need to do, but we're also going to give them the same safety upgrades, which they have some of that already, but we want to see if we can't create a secure vestibule like we have at our other schools, where right now folks at ECE get buzzed in, they go in these doors, well, they immediately have access to the student population, where we would want to funnel them into the office, or if we know, let them pass through like we do at our other buildings, because we have that security window, and then buzz them through to the to go to their classroom or wherever the parent might need. So we're going to explore that at ECE. And then the high school, back in this was in 2019, we had to try to get to a number in the mid 90 millions to get to try to get us in that 95 to 97 million dollar range back in 2019 when we started the project. And so we pulled out the remodel of the swimming pool and the pool pack. That pool pack is like the ventilation system, the HVAC system, and it's at its life end. It's the original system from when they built the pool, so it needs to be done. Also, the track is at its life end. We need to do that, and we're also going to turf that last turf field as well. And then we got some existing around Flyers Gym and around Gold Gym. There's still some soffit work we need to do. We need to enclose on the older buildings and get those to where they're maintenance free. So just a little bit of work left still there at the high school. And then at the end, every year that we do this, I always ask these 3 questions. So if you would, please take the time to do this. We have a system called Qualtrics where we put this information in, and it really disaggregates that information to us and really creates themes for us to help us make sure that, we think we know what we know, but, we want to make sure we're not missing anything. So please take the time to fill this out. And then just again, I just want to say to you listening, just thank you for the time. Thank you for your support. It's such a privilege to be the superintendent of such an amazing community and school district. And I just look forward to getting up each and every day and working with your students and just serving this community. So with that, thank you so much, and I will see you all soon.